This video aims to present the situation of the Russian army before the Caucasus 2020 exercise, which will take place from July throughout September of 2020 on the Russian Federation's territory. Although preparations for Caucasus 2020 haven't even begun, there are talks of an imminent invasion by the aggressor. Ukraine fears a Russian invasion during Caucasus 2020. Russia, prepared to ease the situation with NATO, announces that as a gesture of good faith and goodwill and trust, it will move the military exercise further inland. On the other hand, Russia has also stated that it is ready to sign a contract with Turkey for the delivery of long-range aerial defense systems, S-400. The military forces of the Russian Federation that span from the Barents Sea all the way to Vladikavkaz are of a tremendous size. Only its known air force is capable of terrible destruction. As anyone can say, Russia is an incredibly military power which I believe to be unrivaled. Just look at the air bases of Tambov, Liptek, Borisovsk, Minchursk, Neilchop, Tyorek, Tangarog, Armavir, Rostov-Pedon, Kazan, Psok, Myogalovo, and you'll understand why Russia's power is no joke. The anti-Russian utopia, the provoking active military activity of the Allied forces in the region is observed outside these exercises. In 2020, 25 NATO ships have entered the Black Sea, every third one having cruise missiles on board. The intensity of the air reconnaissance has only increased recently, by 20% to be more exact, which means more than 80 flights along the Russian border. It is becoming absurd, as recently the US Air Force Command has organized a simulation of the attack on Crimea by the strategic bombardiers B-52H Stratofortress. A very dangerous simulation for the American pilots, as it can lead to the intrusion of the Russian state border due to navigation errors and the attack on the B-52H Stratofortresses. What happens then? Let us watch the video. Is Russia provoked by NATO and USA, or is it the other way around? Nothing is certain. What is now happening in the grand scheme of things is only known by the three major powers. All that is left for us is to comment, observe, and draw conclusions based on the informations that are purposely leaked on the internet. Two Russian hunter planes, Sukhoi Su-35, have intercepted in the span of a 60 minutes flight a P-8A Poseidon maritime patrol plane of the US Navy that was flying above the Mediterranean Sea. The two Russian airplanes have positioned themselves on the P-8A Poseidon's flanks mere meters away from the airplane's wings, restricting its maneuverability. The Russians have also intercepted the USA B-1B bombers that have been surveilling Romania. The US Air Force has stated that these bombers have been executing flights in the region of the Black Sea, which includes Romania. The Russian planes Sukhoi Su-27 and Su-30 took off in order to intercept the American bombers. The Russian airplanes have acted according to the international flight rules. Having completed their missions, the planes have returned to their air bases. Russian airfighters intercept US reconnaissance planes over the Black Sea. Russian aircraft intercepted US aircraft in international airspace. This time, the US Air Force and the US Navy reconnaissance planes along with a refueling tanker operating in the Black Sea. The intercept is at least the 8th interaction between US and Russian aircraft across the globe within the last month. Video showing a Navy P-8 along with a US Air Force KC-135 refueling and an RC-135 reconnaissance plane over international waters. Sukhoi Su-30 fighter from the country's southern military district responded and approached from a safe distance to identify the aircraft. US Force F-22 Raptors have intercepted and escorted 4 Russian Tu-95MS strategic bombardiers capable of transporting warheads during a routine flight above neutral waters near Alaska. The Russian Federation has formed 3 joint task forces capable of carrying out unprecedented offensive action with limited objectives. Further military units are being formed in order to reorganize and reinforce military formations in order to increase their combat efficiency along Ukraine's border. 28 battalions are stationed. Meanwhile, 3 brand new big operative units are formed, 2 armies and 1 army corps that will reach full fighting capacity in late 2020 or early 2021. Among the land forces, Joint Task Force Army 20 has been created, which includes the 3rd and the 144th Motorized Infantry Division, which are equipped with tactical operative Iskander missiles. Southwest, the 8th Army has been formed, containing the 150 Motorized Infantry Division and the 20 Motorized Infantry Brigade that subordinates the 1st Army Corps named Donetsk and 2nd Army Corps Lugansk. This army also being equipped with tactical operative Iskander missiles. In total, the land forces of Russia Federation along Ukraine's border amount to approximately 87,000 soldiers, up to 1,100 tanks, 2,600 armored vehicles, 1,100 artillery systems, 360 multiple reactive projectile missile launchers, and 18 operative tactical missiles launching complexes. The Air Force continues to be supplied with new modern aircraft such as the Sukhoi 30 SM, 35S, 34, 25 SM-3 and MiG-31s with the Kinzhua hypersonic, and numerous helicopter models. In total, in the air bases around Ukraine's border, there are 330 fighting planes and 230 helicopters. Ukraine has organized military exercises at the same time with Russia's Caucasus 2020. Ukraine has announced that it will organize military exercises and hopes that they will be joined by the NATO partners as a riposte to Russia's Caucasus 2020 and as an assurance of any further escalation of tensions that might occur on its eastern border. Given the Russian troop clustering near the Ukrainian border under the Caucasus 2020 pretext, the Ukrainian army has also planned military exercises called Common Efforts 2020. Tensions still run high in the extended region of the Black Sea, while multiple USA and NATO spy planes never stop surveilling the airspace of the Russian Federation, many times provoking the Russian pilots. Reconnaissance flights. 41 reconnaissance flights have been conducted by the NATO air forces within the border area of Russia, 37 of which were manned aircraft and 4 were unmanned aircraft, also known as UAVs. The Russian force have been alerted by 19 such flights. The Russian media have made public especially the events on 26th and 28th of June when the Sukhoi Su-30, known by NATO as the Flanker C, and Sukhoi Su-27, known simply as Flanker, have been sent above the Black Sea in order to intercept the aircraft sent by the 6th Fleet of USA, namely reconnaissance aircraft P-8A Poseidon and RC-135, and fueling aircraft KC-135 Stratotanker. The naval presence. On 17th of June 2020, the USS Porter Cruiser, numbered DDG-78, class Arleigh Burke 6th Fleet of USA, has entered the Black Sea, making this the second time it has executed a task in this region, the first one being in April of 2020. On 18th of June 2020, a second American ship, a landing craft to be more precise, named Oak Hill number LSD-51 has joined the said cruiser. The Russian fleet in the Black Sea has allocated significant resources to monitoring the NATO ships. Given the circumstances, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered a large-scale drill to take place in order to fully test the capabilities of the Russian army. Russian Ministry of Defense Sergei Shoigu has declared that the drill has already begun and will fully test the Russian army's readiness for the military maneuvers that will take place in September, named Caucasus 2020. The drill takes place in multiple locations, including the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, and includes airborne infantry and marines from the North and Pacific fleets. Russia has consolidated its military presence on the Ukrainian border with 1,100 tanks and 2,600 armored vehicles. The infantry, airborne and marines will practice in 56 exercises, 35 of which in land bases and 17 in naval bases in the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. In total, 149,755 military active personnel and 26,820 units of armament and military equipment, 414 aircraft, and 106 structures and auxiliary ships will be subject to a surprise inspection. These measures aim to ensure the safety of the southwest of Russia and prepare the military maneuvers for the strategic exercise named Caucasus 2020, which is to take place in September 2020. The unprecedented drill of the Russian army, ordered by the President Vladimir Putin, is one of a massive scale never before seen in modern history of the Russian state. Involving 150,000 soldiers, it surpasses even the strategic maneuvers of EST 2018, which involved 130,000 soldiers, being considered the biggest drill in the last decade. Therefore, it is to be expected that the next 5 to 7 days, especially in the vicinity of the Black Sea, will see unprecedented military activity, which will take place on land, sea and air alike. Numerous exercises and launches with all sorts of military armaments and equipment on a tactical level is to be expected. On the other hand, the media affiliated with NATO announces that NATO has denounces these drills as a violation of transparency. At Washington, the American Secretary of Defense Mark Esper has requested the consolidation of NATO before Russia. Because of the annexation of Crimea and its involvement in Syria and Libya, Russia represents a global threat, he stated. We must contain Russia. We must consolidate NATO and our partners, emphasized Esper, requesting the raise of the military budget at 2% of each member country's budget. Odopuyu thanks you for viewing this video. Please feel free to comment your thoughts and opinions on the subject in the comment section. This video is to be used as a media platform for recent events.